up, peeps? It's your girl Dash coming back to Frontal Takes. Well, you guys, it's that time again. It is movie news time, and this one probably won't be as lengthy. I have like a good maybe 6 or 7 things I want to discuss about some updates on some upcoming movies going into the following year. Definitely some updates in regards to just movies being moved around. Then of course some things that came up that I was actually excited to hear about. Looking forward to getting more information as time goes on. So this one, I'm going to try to keep this definitely probably under 45 minutes. I know sometimes they can be a little lengthy, but I do get involved a little bit when I do discussion. So you know what, with that said, let's just go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing I want to discuss has to do with the trailer that dropped at the end. I want to say Thursday. I want to get the date right. And that was for Stephen King's It Too. Now, let me tell you, I was excited to finally see something for this upcoming movie, which comes out September 6th to be exact, directed by Andy Muschietti. I am excited. That trailer, to me, honestly, was everything I needed, honestly, to see to get me hyped. Now, from the way they did this one, this was considered a teaser. It was really done really well. Some people are like, are we watching the whole movie? I'm like, okay. You're not watching a movie. You're fully watching what looks like to be a small little clip, like as if this is something brand new they've never done before in other genres, whatever. I like the clip they used. If I'm not mistaken, I'd heard that this was shown at some sort of con. I want to say late last year. It might have been early this year. I could be wrong by the date of it, where it had to do with the scene with Jessica Chastain. So this must be the one that they actually used for that. So to see that particular scene was definitely creepy. I loved it. The older woman was so creepy, but we should all know who that was, because at first people really thought that was just a woman acting weird. I'm like, no, that's definitely not the case. I love the way Jessica played that particular scene. Was done very well, and I'm just so ready. And of course the rest of the trailer showed you a little bit of perfectly cut scenes from all the gang, the Losers Clubs getting back together. Now, this brings me into what I wanted to really discuss. Recently, Bill Skarsgård, who of course plays Pennywise, spoke with Entertainment Weekly, just kind of discussing what he sees moving forward, what's going to be definitely happening. He doesn't want to give stuff away, for what can happen in this particular movie. Now, of course, you all know this is based off of Stephen King's novel, but they might be taking a little bit from the novel and maybe doing some other things within this particular character in regards to fleshing out and understanding Pennywise a little bit more of exactly why he is what he is, and getting more of I want to feel like maybe a little bit of backstory, so to speak, because I did tell you guys when I did my reaction that we know that Stephen King has seen the movie. No one else has seen it but him so far, and he has spoke high praise about it, saying we will enjoy it, you will float on, as he put it. So I'm hyped and excited at the fact that he is definitely gave his approval on it, knowing that it's going to be good. I mean, the brother wrote the novel, and everybody loves his novel more so it's going to be hard for people who probably read the novel. But I feel like this, even if you've gone and read the novel, if you haven't, to feel like you go out of the movie satisfied. And I think some of the people that I know who have read it loved the first one, so I feel very confident the second one will definitely deliver, and I'm totally down for Muschietti doing it, because at first I wasn't sure how I would feel about that, because I preferred the TV miniseries, but that's fine. Now, for what Bill said, I want to kind of note a little bit of that, so I want to note this down. When he was being spoken to, he states, after the course, of course, over the 27 years, the next installment, he says he's been doing this forever, really, in regards to Pennywise. He says, so he doesn't change in the sense that you would like differently. He looks however he wants to look for any particular prey at the time. Love that, of course. But I do think there's a change. And then he's kind of just referring to the shape-shifting abilities he has, because as you all know clearly from the trailer that we just got the teaser, you see how he takes on, different forms. He's playing an elderly woman, and you can clearly see him preparing himself when he's creeping through the sides, literally half naked, literally nude, and then eventually starts to grow whatever and all that, basically scaring, Beverly, played by Jessica Chastain, in that particular scene. So I like how he says it. Then he says, his last line, going to chapter 2, he says, fear is him experimenting, and for the first time, he's sort of shocked and perplexed and surprised. If you all remember the scene from the first one, where he uses the fears of whatever the kids, fear to kind of get to them, it didn't definitely work on Beverly. She succumbed to her fear, whichever, and that is the key for them to realize they have a way to get the upper hand on Pennywise, moving forward, seeing them now, present day, they're adults. seeing how he's going to trigger all of them now, and whatever fear, being that they've dealt with, could be some of the residual after effects of dealing with him when they were younger, going into their adulthood now, seeing how it played a part in a role and how they lived their lives all this time, years later. So I'm looking forward to like really getting into that, because now his hatred, he's very vengeful. He definitely wants to get them for what they did to him in the first one. So that's where I'm excited to see, like I said, also seeing a little bit more of anything from the past with Pennywise, whatever. How did we get here? I would to know that. Also, I was talking to someone in regards to the overall reveal. We all remember seeing the TV miniseries. Honestly, the CGI back then, definitely lackluster. He was a spider. So if that's the case, and he is again, I'm hoping the overall transformation of sorts is a little bit more, gory, a little bit more scarier than the way it was in it, because he was just, of course, you see the teeth and all that with the way Tim Curry did it, but you didn't get to see a real transformation of seeing him turn into said spider, whatever. It was just a spider going into what looked like some sort of cave of sorts, whatever, and you could see how just so bad it looked for the CGI aspect of it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they grapple that in that instance. Other than that, I feel like everything else, showcased from what we saw in the teaser trailer, looks like it's going to be a great, great movie. I'm totally here for it. I'm looking forward to seeing Bill Skarsgård, really, get truly into Pennywise again, but a little bit more edge behind it. Definitely a little bit more, creepy factor. How more wackier can he possibly get? Yeah, it's going to be nice. And of course, like I said, also, seeing them all grown up now, seeing a much older cast play them, like, of course, Bill being played by James McAvoy, Jessica Chastain playing, older Beverly. Of course, I was like, as well, for Ben, played by Jay Ryan. Just seeing all of them. I'm just looking forward to seeing them just really delve into this. So it's going to be good. This is going to be awesome. This comes out around, September, close to, regular Labor Day holiday. So September 6th. Right around the corner. Before you know it will be here, and I will be there, as I said it before, day one. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this. So you guys, comment how you feel about the new It 2 that's coming out. If you saw the trailer, tell me what you all think. I'm curious to know your thoughts about that. So moving on from that. Now for this one, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This has to do with Coming to America 2. I'm excited. You already know how I feel. This has been in the works since 2017. I'm totally down for this. They need to move this along, but here's the halt. Word is out that they are having to move the dates. The first original date was supposed to be August of 2020, but now it's being pushed to December 2020. Now, at first I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that, but then what, I had to think about that. You know what, that's probably for the best, for the simple fact that that's around the holidays. We all love different types of movies around the holidays to see. Well, of course, we do holiday themed type of movies, but sometimes people want a little bit different. We want variety. And I feel being that it's a comedy, that's going to make it something great. I'll probably go see some movie that might be holiday based, but then I can also see something that might be action or even something that's, comedy. And I'm totally down for that. This is the perfect one that will fill that particular void. So, and I'm going to probably see quite a few different things around Christmas holiday. I will be off. So I love to see movies, you all know. So I'm looking forward to this. Now, the movie that has taken the place and has pushed it to the December date is the movie that's going to be starring Chris Evans and directed by Antoine Fuqua, and that's the one titled Reincarnation Papers. Now I'm going to just throw out there, because I'd actually talked about this about, I say 2 months or so ago, whatever. It's been a minute since I brought this up, so now we're getting a little bit more information. I'm going to just kind of throw out there the synopsis on that movie, whichever, because some people are probably like, okay, what movie is actually taking the place of that movie? This movie is basically stemmed around the character Chris Evans playing. His name is Evan Michaels. It's a man who can recall his past lives and discovers a secret society called the Cognomina, and with the members all possess the same same skill. Excuse me, my apologies for that. It says the Cognomina's members have been agents of change throughout history, and Evan Michaels' character set his sights on joining the centuries-old organization. Now, I'm intrigued by that anyway, and I love that Chris Evans is working with Antoine Fuqua. I think this will be his first time working with him in a film, so I'm actually excited about that. I'm looking forward to seeing or even knowing a little bit more about the movie moving forward, who else will be in this movie with said Chris Evans, that will be interesting to see as well. And just seeing what they're going to bring to the table. I'm looking forward to seeing any type of set photos, whatever, give us an idea of the overall look of this, how this is going to turn out in the long run. But I'm assuming he's going to be working on this very soon. He already wrapped up the movie, oh gosh, Knives Out. So I already know that's in the can. We're expecting that in November. So this is probably his next movie. He's already getting ready to start on soon, because I don't think there's anything else that I know he's going to be in as of late. So I think this is probably the next one on his roster from moving forward from that. So definitely with this. But yes, this one with Coming to America 2, I'm totally here for it. I will say this, I know Arsenio Hall will be back. I'm looking forward to seeing some other original cast. Hopefully we'll get to see John Amos. Hopefully he'll be back in it as well. Cannot remember the woman's name. I might put her picture up in here, you know, who's of course now his wife, Prince Hakeem. I don't know if we're going to see James Earl Jones. It's a possibility. We might see him. I don't know. They might have it where he's kind of just, you know, retired. He's resting. He might not even go that far. Prince Hakeem might now be King Hakeem. I don't know. But that will be nice. Now, the storyline, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. Suppose he's supposed to have a long-lost son. So his journey is to go find this son, because if I'm not mistaken, the last time I did discuss this, I told you I found it really hard for me to grasp with the fact that throughout the movie, I don't recall them showing him, you know, soiling his royal oats anytime. I don't think we saw that at all. We know that Arsenio Hall's character was loving, you know, having his fun, trying to have his fun, but I don't know. So that just, I don't know. I think once they start working on the movie, I'm assuming maybe later this fall they'll probably start actual production for this. That I don't know. Then they'll kind of move that along, and we'll know something, because of course now it's been pushed to December. If they don't start on it this fall, maybe winter going to early next winter, spring, so they can finish it up, wrap it up. Also, I'm hoping that Arsenio and Eddie actually bring to life some different characters as well. He is definitely known for that. You all know he did that in was it Norbit. He did it, of course, in The Nutty Professor, as well as the original Coming to America. So I'm totally down for that. So I'm excited at the prospect of what we have in store. This is going to be something, because a lot of people don't take too highly when some people do a sequel. The first one is just a classic. I never get tired of watching it. So I just hope that the writing is really good. I know Eddie will make sure it is, if he's going to be attached to this in any way. So let's just hope that it brings the funny. It still will never be up there with the regular Coming to America, but if it can find its own footing and hold its own, then it's all great and good. I'm totally down for it. So we're moving on from that. Now this one, I'm excited. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about hearing this news, but look forward to seeing where this might go in the development with who will be the lead. This has to do with a cliffhanger, as they say, reboot with a female lead. Now I remember the first one that came out over 20 years ago. That was the one that starred, of course, Sylvester Stallone, Michael Rooker, and John Lithgow. I love that movie. I'm a fan of Stallone and multiple movies by him. So I totally am down at the prospects of a cliffhanger. I was really interested when they said they were doing it with a female lead. Now that I wasn't expecting. I was expecting this to just be a regular reboot. It would have been what it is, fine. Now, word is that they don't have a female lead as of yet. This is just in the beginning stages of discussion. This is something that has been on the radar of the producer of the Fast and Furious franchise, and that is Neil Moritz. He actually has been trying to do this for quite some time, and I'm kind of actually happy about that. I wasn't expecting to know this is one of those ones that's, you know, a cherished, you know, type of film he's been really wanting to, you know, grasp with this. Now, I'm also hearing that they're considering, and Jason Momoa is in talks to do a cameo within the movie as well. Wondering what area that could be. If he's just doing a cameo, it will be brief. Now, when I say that, this is what I think. Well, if you all remember the premise of the original cliffhanger, this was the one where, of course, you remember the scene where Sylvester Stallone was, you know, holding on for dear life to the wife of Michael Rooker's character's, you know, wife. He's her husband, and he of course loses a grip, and not overall his fault, whatever, but the position that they're in, he's only so much he could do. And I'm wondering if that's going to be the cameo scene he will be doing in this said movie, because I don't know how long his cameo will be. So it could be anything, but I'm wondering, could he be playing maybe the female leads, maybe husband, something happens where she loses her husband, whatever. I'm kind of out there, but you never know. If you all saw Cliffhanger, if you never did, you do need to watch that. It is a good movie. I really enjoy that. And John Lithgow, I love when he plays villain. He plays a good villain. So, yes, I'm totally excited. And also, from what I'm hearing, Neil Moritz, when he says he wants to do this, Cliffhanger reboot, from that way, he's also putting out how he would like to expand on making this maybe a franchise property. That is an idea as well. Not sure, depending on how the storyline will be. That means if they're doing it in this particular way, what these individuals will be doing in regards to, that will be interesting. That means that each storyline for the franchise, they will change it up a little bit, but still incorporating the more main focal point of this in regards to that. So I am totally down. I want to know who else will be definitely in this. If Jason's considering in talks, whoever the film lead, the director of this, let me get her name right. Her name is Anna Lily Amirpour. She is on my radar now. She not as well known, I think, over here, but this will change that. And with all the different people coming on board, I want to say she did a movie, they said, back in 2014. It was a vampire film, and it's titled, because I'm going to have to check it out now because I want to get a little bit more versed with her. It's called A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. The title alone is enough to get me intrigued. I'm going to have to watch that particular vampire film, and you all know I love me some vampire films. So I'm definitely going to keep my tabs on any information that comes out with this one. You already know how I am. When I know more, you all know more. So that one definitely, I'm totally here for it. And I'm also have one other thing with that. I hear the person who's supposed to be writing the script did the script for Creed 2. That is a bonus. So that lets me know they're going to really make sure they give us something really good, so it's not so far-fetched, so to speak. So I think his name is Sasha Penn. So yes, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, but moving on from that, now this one, you already know I'm looking forward to, because now we're going to start speding this up and hearing a little bit more about this. This has to do with Fast and Furious 9. Now, right now, Vin, he definitely is starting to do a little bit of, news on social media now. He most recently put a picture of him and Justin Lin, who is the director of the next installment of the franchise. I'm excited. We don't know still anything about the storyline. They were supposed to start filming this last month in April. Right now, it doesn't look like they're doing it. So basically, they're in pre-production. It is what it is. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm also excited at the fact that we're going to get, of course, some, our oldies are coming back. Michelle Rodriguez. We're going to get Tyrese Gibson. I heard that Jordana Brewster is going to be coming back as well. Also, you already know last week I discussed how somebody's been added to the cast. A newbie to the fans, Fast and Furious family, and that is John Cena. So I'm excited about that. We don't know who's going to be the protagonist in this particular one. Charlize Theron was actually the one in the last one, which was from the Fate and the Furious. She did very well in that. I enjoyed her in that one. So I'm excited that we're starting to see him, kind of speak on it now. Of course, praising the writers and of course the director. I'm looking forward to knowing. Like I said, I want to know who's going to be playing the villain, the baddie. I'm definitely ready to see. We're not going to probably see a lot, because one thing I can say with Vin Diesel, he tries to avoid having anything leak, whatever, for set photos or whatever. He's not going to show any clips or anything. He basically tries to stay under the radar when he's in the midst of doing the movies, because I didn't know anything about or seeing anything about the movie for the Fate and the Furious the last time, whichever. I did hear that Charlize Theron was attached to it, and I was actually excited to see in what capacity. To know she was the villain was really cool. I love it. She can play any type of role, but I do enjoy watching her do villain. I always like it when you see most people who always play the good people, a good character, when they switch it up and do bad. So I always, get a, treat out of seeing that. So, but yes, I'm looking forward to that. So until this one comes out, which comes out in May of 2020, birthday month next year, yay, we will have one that will have to kill us over until the next part of the franchise, and that of course is the Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. You already know about last month they showed a new trailer, which looks good. Of course, the antagonist, the villain in this one is Idris Elba. I'm looking forward to seeing him do his thing. Of course, I already said it. I love the chemistry, the banter between Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham. So they look like they're gonna just give us everything. We're gonna get the funny, we're gonna get the action, the suspense, good drama. I did see that we're going to see somebody who's in this one, Roman Reigns. I'm happy about that. So yeah, I'm excited to see this one. This one comes out, of course, I think it was August the 2nd, excuse me. So I'm down for it. I'm looking forward to it. I just looking forward to knowing a little bit more. I hate that we don't know as much right now, but hopefully that he's kind of, showcasing stuff on social media a little bit, kind of get us involved a little bit to get us kind of hyped up for the movie. This is good because that lets us know definitely, probably, if he's not starting this month, most likely starting summer, June, probably moving forward, he's going to start working on that. So maybe we'll see some pictures from the set that might leak a little bit to let us know, okay, now they're in the throngs of, getting into production and moving it along. And hopefully by the end of the summer, they'll be done. I did also, as you all remember, I said Dwayne will not be in 9. They're claiming it's because of their long-going feud. I don't think it's no feud, whatever. Just right now, Dwayne's doing his thing and Vin's doing his thing. But I will say this, and I said it before, I'm going to tell you like this. Vin is not here for it. I don't think he cared for how things went down. He's just going ahead and going about his business, and he's not worrying about it. But I did also state, if he's not in number 10, which is the final one of the franchise, then oh yeah, Vin is rather still salty and he could care less, because in the end, what his word definitely counts in this, and that's all that needs to be said. He probably would, if he wants to be real shady and petty, if he doesn't put him or Jason in that last one, he is, and that's going to speak volumes. So let's see how this turns out when they start working on the 10th one. Let's see if you do see that. That means they're going to have to come to the table to kind of work through something, give him something in there, because you all recall hearing how Vin and Dwayne didn't do any scenes together per se. They did all their scenes separately, so they didn't have to be in the same room. That right there speaks volumes. So, but I'm just going to go ahead and go on. But moving from that, so now this one I'm actually excited at the prospect, because this entails it deals with the Russo brothers. Let me just go ahead and put them out there first, whichever, because I can put their faces somewhere in here. Some of us are coming off of our high of Avengers Endgame, me included. Saw it twice. Might go see it one more time, probably before the end of this month, maybe beginning of June, because it's going to probably be in the theaters for a while. That thing doesn't look like it's leaving it anytime soon. All I have to say is this. Kudos to them again. They outdid themselves with this one. I enjoyed that immensely. So hearing word that they're hinting, because the door has been opened for them to come back and do something, of course, through Marvel. As you all know, ever since things started changing hands with certain characters, whatever, and all that, we were talking about, ones like, say, for instance, X-Men or maybe Fantastic Four. Now that the Disney acquisition went through, Marvel, Disney, they've got all the characters back, whichever. Now, hearing little ramblings from the Russo brothers stating that they're hinting at possibly wanting to direct Fantastic Four. That is music to my ears right off the bat. That makes me very happy. Now, if you all recall, the first Fantastic Four, of course, back in the day, 2005, that one I actually enjoyed. The sequel, it was okay for what it was. But then, kind of fell off. We got, saw Silver Surfer in the second installment, whichever and all. And I was excited about that, because these are characters I did not grow up reading the comics from. So when I got introduced, I'm being introduced through the movies. Some people read the comics, so they have a better understanding of the characters, and they have more of a soft spot. So, they take, when you put them in a movie and you don't showcase a proper storyline, whatever and all, some people can take, offense to that, whichever, and rightfully so, honestly. So hearing that the Russo brothers would love to consider doing that, that makes me very happy, because I feel like they would do that particular, actual, comic book characters justice. You see how they've done all these different characters and then bring them together into this particular conclusion with the Avengers, whichever, and moving it from one phase to another phase after over 10 years of looking at all these different movies from Marvel, and have done an outstanding job. Honestly, let me just tell you, I wasn't really knowing who the Russo brothers were. I started to have them more on my radar when I knew that, first and foremost, when they did Captain America Winter Soldier, I was completely encompass of them then. I already watched some of the shows like Happy Ending, which I didn't realize they were directing. I love that show. Also, like show like Community. They did the episode of Agent Carter. Actually, I was excited about that show until they decided to not even continue on. I think we only got a couple episodes. We didn't get a full season of that. It didn't even make it that far. I was kind of bummed about that. But that, and then of course the other movies they made, of course, Captain America Civil War, and then of course, Avengers, Infinity War, and then Avengers Endgame. So right then and there, I have been completely, just excited about anything that they decide to put out. So the thought of them doing this, I feel very happy. Now, the last Fantastic Four movie that came out was 2015. And that one had Michael B. Jordan in it. And I'm going to tell you, the trailer, I will say the trailer had me excited and hyped. But I was kind of still standoffish because I was just, and like people say, you got to be very mindful with certain trailers because they can be edited and cut, whatever and all that. And you try to go in there, with an open mind. Oh, I went to the movies to see that. The thing was some garbage. I did not like it. I did not like the way they did Doctor Doom. I wasn't here for it. Nothing about the movie I liked. So the potential is there for them to come in there and do these characters proper. I actually enjoyed the Doctor Doom played by Julian McMahon back from the 2005. So yes, yeah, he was somewhat at least decent. You got a little bit more from him, in regards to the character development with him before he became Doctor Doom a little bit. I'm totally down. I'm hoping. Now, I know Joe Russo recently was discussing this, and let me kind of go into what he said in regards to that. Now, he says, it's just about finding the right story that inspires us. They said that's why we get out of bed every day. He says when they ask him about the potentiality of bringing these characters back for this particular movie, Fantastic Four, he says, I love Ben Grimm from Fantastic Four. Dr. Doom was always one of my favorite villains. So he also mentioned, Wolverine, whichever. He feels that should be set aside for a little while because I already said, Fantastic Four and possibly X-Men. I'm glad about that. He should be set aside because honestly, Hugh Jackman, I thought did very well as Wolverine, and I'm gonna tell you this, it's too fresh in a lot of people's minds for them to even consider doing anything with X-Men with Wolverine anytime soon. So I'm actually glad. Let's not even think about him right now. I keep thinking if they do come back, because the door has been open, and for them to welcome them back, down the line, I'd say maybe 5 to 10 years from now, maybe we can go that route. So for right now, Marvel has quite a few different things set aside for what they're working on. And then that's going into Phase 4. Of course, we start Phase 4 with, of course, Spider-Man Far From Home. So I'm excited about that prospect and seeing what they have going on. You already know I've talked about the Eternals. We get all these different castings, so I'm excited about that as well. And then, of course, down the road, we're going to get Black Panther 2. We're going to get a Doctor Strange 2. I look forward to seeing a Captain Marvel 2, and definitely Guardians of the Galaxy 3 now that we know that James Gunn is going to be attached to that again. I'm very happy about that. So all these things are going to be culminating and happening. Hopefully, after some of these movies pan out, after going to 2024, 2025, maybe this will come back up again, and then we can see what they're planning to do if they consider doing a Fantastic Four, because I feel like if they do this one and it does very well, I hope they consider doing the sequel to it. Please, I would love for them not to just do one and leave it at one. If they do 2, that's fine. I want to see them introduce us again to Silver Surfer. I did enjoy the Silver Surfer. I just feel like he was a flesh out as much as I wanted him in the one from the original ones with Jessica Alba, Chris Evans in it. So hopefully they might consider doing that as well, or giving him a standalone. Honest, that'd be fine too. So I will keep you guys posted when I hear more about this, because that does excite me. That won't be happening no time soon. So, but if they bring it up a little bit here and there, and Joe keeps putting it out there, Russo, that will be nice, because it lets me know that definitely is going to be on their radar moving forward. Because I know right now they're getting ready to start production on the movie Cherry, which will be starring Tom Holland. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That storyline looks really good there too as well. So, but I just want to kind of just bring that up really quickly with you guys. That is something I'm totally down to see happen. So moving from that, so this one, another comic book led, and I was just saying about James Gunn, this has to do with the Suicide Squad. This one, of course, I'm excited for. I'm down. I just talked about this last week, and this had to do with some possibly main villains, whichever. Not sure if these particular characters were going to be considered the main, villain or antagonist. This had to do with me showcasing, talking about the Polka Dot Man and also Ratcatcher. Now we're hearing that Benicio del Toro is in talks to play the villain within the movie. Now that has me excited. I am a fan of Benicio del Toro. I can't say it enough. He is one of my favorites. There are so many movies in his arsenal that I cannot go. I mean, The Usual Suspects, The Hunted, The Fan, Sicario del Soldado, The Wolfman. This is just to name a few. And I could really go on. He is truly one of my favorites. He is a very diverse actor. I just adore him. So I'm totally down. Now let me kind of read out what they're claiming for his character. This is just, describing him. He's supposed to be supposedly dubbed as the Mayor. And they're describing him as an irresistible old warrior who lives for war. Interesting. Now, I'm totally down if that's the case. I was wondering, who would definitely be the main antagonist, within the movie. That is interesting. I'm hoping he is going to consider coming into the fold within the Suicide Squad family. You already know I said Margot Robbie is going to be coming back. Joel Kinnaman will be coming back. Viola Davis will come back. Jai Courtney. Also, I said Idris Elba is attached. We still don't know in what capacity. What is his character? They're claiming it's definitely not Deadshot in regards to, because of Will Smith, but because of conflict schedules, that's why he's not going to do it. Some people feel like he should just go ahead and be that, whatever, but you never know if they're going to do a standalone movie for Deadshot, because there have been rumblings about that as well. So that's a possibility. I don't know. So we'll have to see how that pans out with that. Also, I'm hearing that Michael Rooker, who I just spoke about another movie, is in talks to possibly play, what is his name? King Shark, excuse me, my bad. Going through my own notes, as well. Totally down for that. That would be awesome. Michael Rooker's another one. This is a multifaceted actor. He's been in many movies I love. So I am totally here if that is the case. Also hearing that Dave Bautista is considering the character, the Peacemaker. His name and John Cena's name have come up. How fitting, both from WWE and moving into acting and more acting roles. Interesting there. So, but I want to foresee more of Dave Bautista, and I'll give it to Dave Bautista. He's doing a damn thing. That brother he's straight busy. He's in a little bit of every freaking thing. I am so here for him. He's a DC native. I love him. Go ahead, buddy. So I'm just really excited about this. All this all these different characters that are being added, all these different actors are coming on board that I actually love watching. I'm loving what James Gunn is putting together for the next Suicide Squad. This might get a lot of people excited and a little bit more intrigued with the next, upcoming movie, in regards to this, So I'm looking forward to more information that keeps coming out, because it seems to be coming out very quickly. So that lets me know that this movie definitely will be starting very soon. So I'm looking forward to it. The date for this one is August 2021. We have a ways away, and that is fine, but that gives them time to make sure everything is good, all the action, the CGI. Yeah, I'm just ready for it to look good. We still don't know if Jared Leto will be back as Joker. He won't confirm or deny. So we'll have to see how that pans out, but that's fine. I'm here for it. It is all good. So, but yes, I'm looking forward to seeing or hearing more information. Hopefully when they start production, I want to think later this fall. I'm going to find out, because I don't have any information with exactly when they're supposed to start filming. I know Margot Robbie, I think, is almost finished up filming for Birds of Prey, excuse me, trying to get the words out. So, but yes, I'm definitely, once she's finished wrapping it up, I figured most likely that's when we'll know that she's actually getting ready to start that, because I think they're going to finish that and go right into something else. I don't think she's in anything else that she's supposed to be starting working on. She'll start doing press for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood soon with Brad and Leo. So yes, other than that, yes, I just want to kind of bring that to you guys to the fold. I'm getting very excited, looking forward to this. This is one of those ones I definitely plan to look at. Now this is the last thing I want to discuss, and this has to do with the Invisible Man. Now we're getting a little bit more casting with this one. I told you all a couple weeks back that Elizabeth Moss is in this movie. I'm actually excited about that. I recently saw her in the movie Us by Jordan Peele. She did very great. You should all know her from the Handmaid's Tale series. Really good on that. So this particular person who's come on board is Storm Reed. Now, if you're familiar with her, she was also in the movie A Wrinkle in Time that was directed by Ava DuVernay and also starring Reese Witherspoon and Oprah Winfrey. So I'm actually excited for her. Now, I have a little bit of notation on the synopsis a little bit now, which I'm actually excited about. So let me go ahead and read a little bit of what we're hearing. Now, Elizabeth Moss' character's name in this movie is Cecilia. Just want to kind of note that as well when I discuss what the story kind of is about. Now, for Storm Reed, her character's name is Sydney. Now, it says the plot follows a woman named Cecilia, Elizabeth Moss. It says she learns her abusive ex-boyfriend has committed suicide. It says, however, when strange things start to happen to her thereafter, Cecilia begins to wonder if she's losing her grip on reality. It says, or if her former lover might not actually be dead. And then from there it says, Cecilia comes to care for Sydney's character, played by Storm Reed. It says, who's the mother. We have no undisclosed information because we don't know exactly where she falls in line in regards to the storyline, meaning where does she pick up within the storyline when she gets introduced from Cecilia to Sydney. So that is really interesting where she'll be tied into this. Now, I did recently find out, because at first we had heard it was going to be written by Leigh Whannell. Now, if you are familiar with him, he's actually been attached to a lot of different types of horror movies over the years. Of course, directing a couple of them like Insidious, was it 3 and 4, and also he had a little bit of a cameo in Aquaman, because if you remember, it's directed by James Wan. So I'm actually happy. Plus, he directed Upgrade. Love that movie. So this one he's going to be writing and directing. I'm glad, because at first we didn't know who was directing this, but I actually feel good and confident since this is kind of on a little bit of a thriller type of thing. I feel like this is perfect. He's going to write it, direct it, plus the budget will be lower. I discussed how they like to keep their budgets lower instead of having them so exponential that it becomes an issue and it kind of takes away from the movie, whatever. They like to keep it like that since he's dealing through Blumhouse, and I'm actually happy about that as well. So I feel like they're going to make sure that with the money they have, they dig deep in the storyline and just, make it as good as possible. Now, with Leigh Whannell, he's also putting out there that he might do a different take on this particular movie, since I'm talking about The Invisible Man, how being that they're saying that this is, she might feel like this is all in her head, or is he, actually, really, dead, or is he really her boyfriend, invisible, and he's presumed dead? We need to see how the storyline is going to unfold with the actual said abusive boyfriend, who the character is going to actually be. Now, I did discuss this as well. We are hearing it's still between two different people because I have not heard anything since then, so I'm hoping we'll know soon. Armie Hammer and Alexander Skarsgård. You already know that is our buddy who is from the shows. He's from True Blood. He did the Tarzan movie with Margot Robbie, and also he's on a show on HBO. I forgot that my mind just went blank. Starring Nicole Kidman, Reese Witherspoon, Zoe Kravitz, just to name a few. I cannot remember the name. I might put the picture of it up here. So he's very, very, very busy. He's in quite a few different movies. He's done a movie earlier in the year for Netflix. So he stays busy. So it'll be interesting who they're going to pick. I preferably prefer Alexander Skarsgård. For some reason, I get more of the vibe with him playing it because he can play a little bit of everything. So I really enjoy it. He can do a little bit of comedy. He can do definitely the drama. Definitely can do a thriller. So I'm hoping they choose him. Sorry, Armie. I really feel strongly in my convictions about that. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed he ends up being the one to get it. So they're going to probably, if I'm not mistaken, do scenes, with Elizabeth Moss, see how they favor them, whichever. Leigh Whannell, please choose wisely. Please choose Alexander. Somebody forward this to him and tell him, please. Oh, I really wish this. I really hope it's Alexander. So, but with that said, you guys, I just want to kind of bring that to you. We're still waiting to see when production actually starts. They have not stated that yet. We're still in the midst of casting, so they're probably finishing up, writing the storyline, the script, so they can make it just as good as it needs to be. I'm curious to know when it's going to come out. I'm hoping they're going to start production this year, so it can possibly come out next year. That would be nice. So, again, as I always say to you guys, when I know more, you all will know more. So, but yes, you guys, that is it. Comment below on anything I discuss. I would love your feedback. I will say this also. I will not be doing movie news next weekend. I already can tell you that for certain because this chick will be on vacation starting next weekend. That will be the 19th of May, and I will not be back until the following weekend, which falls on Memorial Day holiday. You see how I plan that vacation so I can get an extra day? Yeah. So yes, I will be on a boat. Barely any social media. I will not be too much online per se. And that's fine. This girl has been waiting for this nice, lovely vacation for well over 2 years because I have not really taken off a day here and there. But this is truly going to be a nice vacation that I have earned and it is well deserved, and I'm looking forward to it. So, but yes, I just want to put that disclaimer out there for you all. So, but with that said, again, like I stated, comment below. Let me know what you all think. And with that said, I will see you guys on the next movie news, maybe 2-3 weeks from now. I'll see you then. You guys take care.